Evening, everybody. They always make me laugh just before I'm about to go live. They're
Wasn't me.
reprobates. It wasn't Wayne there this time. Um, Good evening. How do you do? Welcome to the workshop. It's a little bit Baltic in here tonight because, like a fool, I forgot to put the radiator on before I came down here. But anyway, you've got helping me tonight. These lunatics. I got Pete from Twisted Trees, Wayne the
Hi all.
Woodturner, and Ruby Claire from Canada. So they're going to be looking after you, telling me who's in the chat, and answering answering all the questions you ask me. That's the best way to do it. Um, so what am I doing tonight? Well, as the thumbnail suggests, I'm going to be doing pendants. Something like that. Now these were inspired by both Colin Way and Emma Cook, Tony Turner. I've watched both of them do them. I've watched both of them do them live. They've given me all kinds of tips and tricks, and I'm hoping to be able to pass those tips and tricks onto you guys tonight. Now, the way I do it involves using 3 different chucks with 3 different sets of jaws. Don't worry if you haven't got 3 chucks. You can make do and mend with how I'm going to show you, so you can adapt how I do it. So, Ruby, if you unmute yourself, you can talk.
I'm allowed?
You're allowed. So,
Am I allowed
first
to
thing
talk
I'm going
now?
to, yes.
Am I allowed to tell you it's now 16 degrees in my workshop?
Oh, shut up with your diesel eater. Wayne with his wood burner, and Ruby with her steam-powered generator. Anyway, whatever. Right, so the first thing to do these are just scraps, just offcuts. I've got a lot of oak lying around. That's actually quite a nice figured piece of oak. And on the back is a waste block of just beech dowel. Now, I went up to the local builder's yard and I bought a 2.4 meter length of beech dowel, and I cut it up into inch and a bit bits, and it cost 16 quid. I still haven't recovered from the shock of having to buy that much, spend that much on dowel. That's hot glued on to roughly the center of the piece. It's about ½ inch thick, and it goes in to a set of Donald jaws.
Now, Mark, if people have pieces that they've cut off with the tenon still on, they could use those pieces for the same purpose.
Absolutely,
I was just about to
absolutely.
suggest, Mark, you can find a turner, he could probably make some dowel cheaper than that.
Well, yeah, but it's easier just to. It's all going to
It's
get
bolts and
wasted along
bolts, isn't
anyway.
it?
Yeah. Right. So all I'm going to do is just turn this round. So while I'm doing this, if somebody wants to read out who's in,
I'll let you have the honors, Pete.
Okay, I'll do that. Well, first one in was me. And then there was George joined us shortly afterwards. And then Ruby. And Gerald the French turner was with us. And Wayne. Andy Bundy Rowe. Ward from the west coast of Arizona. Norman Greenwell. Grandpa Jim. I think he's in Florida. He's warmer than that. Susie the Swiss Wood Turner, who's in snowy Switzerland at the moment. Brian with a Y. And Lucy Bundy Rowe.
right. So I've got the calipers set to 27 millimeters, which will give me a diameter of 54. So that bit goes in the middle, gives me a mark on the outside. Do that so you can see it.
So
Of
Fred,
course, when
go
you're
on, Mark.
doing this, of course, you turn the lathe off every time you move the tool rest.
Of course you do.
Hi, Kim has joined us. Hi, Kim.
Okay, we're not allowed to mention modelling apparently.
Hiya, Kim.
So we won't mention modelling because we're not allowed to. Shane Hurst, Julie Shared,
Did you get Fred
Benjamin.
Gillibert?
I think so. I think that's everybody. May have missed one or two when Mark interrupted me, but I suppose it is his show. He's allowed to.
Right, so that's
Welcome,
down
everyone.
to 54. Welcome along, everybody. Thanks for coming along. So all I'm going to do now is some pull cuts. I'm just putting a dome shape on. If you can see that. So just putting a bit of a dome.
How thick was this piece to start, Mark?
Sorry, say that again.
What thickness was the wood to start?
It is 10 mil. 10 mil thick. These are offcuts from my goblets. So when I block up the goblets, there's about, when I blank them up, it's about a 10 mil offcut that I have for each one. And they just literally sat down there on the floor for months on end. And I kept thinking, I must do something with these. Right, so now is the time to put any designs in that you want. So I'll just do 4 concentric circles.
Could you
Mark
change
Ford's got a question for
cameras?
Rob, but I don't think Rob's here yet.
Can you change
Yes,
cameras?
didn't they
Mark?
answer it?
Yes, yeah.
Sorry, Ruby. What was that?
We need the other camera. We can't see your design.
That one. Now, the next stage is getting this to fit into a jam chuck. That's the jam chuck. So all I'm going to do is get these just whittled down so it'll fit the jam chuck. And for
Are
that
you
I
going,
use
are
skew.
you going to sand them at this point?
Not yet.
Shane Hurst just come in. Hi, Shane.
Bailey Woodworks has joined us.
Good evening.
Hi, Chris.
And Mike new as well.
This is like fitting a lid on a box. You want it just snug. Because this is going to be how I
In other words, you don't want a French fit.
go. nice thing about using a jam chuck is it's disposable. It's another scrap piece of wood. But so that one would now be ready to turn around. But what I'm going to do while I'm here, I'm going to do a second one as well. So if you were doing these at home, you would do, if you're going to do, say, 5 of them, you do 5 at this stage first before you move on to the next stage.
Ben said lies. Jam trucks aren't disposable. They go in the jam truck drawer with the other 100.
Now that makes perfect sense to me.
So about a year ago, Mark's workshop became unworkable. So I went down for the weekend to help him tidy it up. And in amongst a bag full of shavings, we found the offcuts from the very first pieces Mark had ever turned in a bag on the floor, taking up space. And he almost cried when I made him throw them out.
Graham Hayne has just come in.
Hi, Graham.
Good evening, Graham. Welcome.
Now just take that back corner off while I've got it in position.
Evening, Kim.
God blimey, Wayne, you got a kiss. I know I got
Yeah, I
a
know.
kiss, but
It's because I'm special.
she said that actually about you when she met you. That Wayne is very special.
I have yet to meet Wayne in person.
He's very special.
Well, I know that.
Right. I have an awful
Well,
feeling I've made this one too small.
most people, Ruby, once they've met me, say, "God, I'm pleased that's over."
That's true. No, it's not true at all.
Well, I kind of have a feeling it wouldn't be.
Look, Kim saying it was the Crocs.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Oh,
Kim's a big fan of Crocs.
Oh, Roy thinks
she
there seems
didn't.
to be an earworm.
Funny you say that. She is currently undergoing earworm training.
There's training.
Well, does that mean you want me to come over and teach her how to turn?
No, luckily I did say to her the only thing you need, the only qualification you need to be an earworm is to be able to read. Obviously, we make allowances for you three.
Lucy said meeting Wayne was unforgettable. I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing, Lucy.
I
And
think
Gerard the French turner said, "Mark, why don't you use the homemade wooden jaws and you wouldn't be stuck with just one size?" Just a thought.
Yes, you can. I have found that 54mm is about the perfect size for a pendant. would you believe it?
Oh God, there we go.
That one. Can't use that one. Or
If
can, but I
you-
use it in a different jam chuck.
Actually, Mark, you could still use that one by
Just
putting
use
a
some
piece
tissue.
of double-sided tape in the bottom.
Yeah, could do that.
Yeah.
I might do
If
that.
it's just a fraction and
Oh,
you
I
put
would.
a couple of rings of masking tape around it, it'll work.
Yeah, 53 mil works as well.
Yeah, 53 bucks. Right. So what we do, shut up, you lot.
I have somewhere in one of the drawers in this workshop got 2 sets of plywood jewels, one for turning the pendant and one for turning the offset hole.
Well, one of the next chuck after this one, you'll see what I've done. But what I am going to do is going to get some of the wood plate jaws so I can make my own wood plates. So yeah, that one. Right, so this one is the first one I did. No, it isn't. That's the one I did earlier. That's the first one I did. That fits in there like that. Now, there are two ways to take this off, the waste off. You can do it like this, with a parting tool. Obviously, you do it further back, or you can also
William
do it,
Kenny's in, and Wivy Woodshed's just come in as well.
hello people, you can also do it with a bowl gouge.
If your pendant is 53 3/4 mil, that's a safer way of doing it.
You could also heat up the hot glue and just prise it off.
Yeah,
That's if you used hot glue to put it on.
I did.
You could use it again then.
And then what I do
And Dave Oatie's just come in.
with the flat edge of the skew, just gently down over the back.
Is there
And
a
when I was
reason for
doing these,
using? Is there a reason
sorry,
for using the skew rather than a negative rate scraper?
well, a skew basically is a negative rake scraper when you're using it at that
Yeah,
orientation.
just
You could
putting
use
a
a
point in there
negative.
for discussion, really.
You could use a negative rake. You could also use a normal flat scraper, but obviously you want the edge trailing downwards.
I hope you
That's
have
not a negative.
I hope you have a hole in the back end of that jam chuck.
Oh no, it would be
He
terrible if I
does.
didn't. It'd be terrible if I wasn't able to do that.
Good thinking.
Oh, long rod. Okay, so now I can sand this. Just fit it in so it's flush again. And you can go through your grits. Now, this is where the production turning routes come in. I don't slow the lathe down. When you're sanding at speed, the trick is keep the sandpaper moving. Don't stay in one spot very long. That's 120, 180, 240 done.
Gerard's asking, do you curve the inside of your jam chuck, considering you put a dome on one side?
No, no, it's pretty much just flat in the bottom. I'm not actually going all the way into the bottom of this recess. The pendant is only sitting, that's probably 5 mil deep, and that's probably only 3 mil. So it's not going all the way down to the bottom.
Just
So
deep enough to accommodate the dome.
Now, Steve Gordon made a comment that's £1.50 worth of dowel there. In actual fact, since you're putting it in a chuck, you don't need to make the dowel that long. You can make it shorter than the jaws on your chuck,
you can make them as long as you like,
or as
or as short
short.
as you like. Right, so third set of jaws. I will turn this off because that's bleaching out. Third set of jaws then are the soft jaws that you can get from Axminster, and I've drilled an offset recess. So now that goes in there.
Those are like plywood jaws for posh people.
And then we bring up the tailstock.
Now, do you set this up, Mark, for where you're going to drill the hole for the orientation of the grain?
I don't tend to. I tend to just
See,
randomly.
I always do. I either have the grain running vertically or I'll have the grain running horizontally. I'll never have the grain running diagonally.
Okay, let's have a look. So vertical. There you go. Slow the lathe down for this bit. Slow it down a little bit more. That's
What
just
size, what
1,000.
size drill are you using?
10 mil drill. And you drill all the way through. And then using spindle gouge, you just want to dish. Just dish the hole that you've drilled. I'll just do that a little bit more. I do need this light, sorry. That's better. Now, this is the tricky bit. It's not vital that you get it exact, because you won't. Try and have these holes running vertical, because that's obviously your center, just there. Try and align.
You could hold it with your or your tailstock and make sure it's aligned that way.
So look. That way a little bit more. There we go. and then dish it the same.
Andrew from AGK has just come in. Oh, so is Ben. Benjamin's in as well.
Ben says, as a cheaper alternative to these soft jewels, you can use some cheddar cheese and eat it afterwards. I wonder if that's what spoiled his appetite for his bacon sandwich earlier.
Now, Susie's got a good point here, which I think is excellent. She says, couldn't you line this up by using the drill bit to go through the hole before tightening the jaws?
Yeah, well, let's try that. See if that works.
I think that's spot on, tell you the truth, Susie.
Yep.
The only problem is, don't have the drill bit through too far. Yeah.
Well done,
There you go.
That's
That was a treat.
spot on tip.
Good tip.
Spot on. Thank you very much. Hadn't thought of that. I'll just be able to dome that just a little bit more now.
Another reason for doing the lining up the grain works especially well if you're doing the hybrid type blanks that Emma produces.
Yes.
The old Ruby's computer's just shut off. She's
Try
going
come
to
back
try
in
and
with the
come back
iPad.
in on her. Yeah.
I didn't realise she'd gone.
Doug Miller has joined us. Good evening, Doug. Afternoon, even.
And one of the things you can do, where's my little bit of... I do have, somewhere, I thought I did, bit of anti-slip mat. There it is. Now what you can do is just put a little bit of anti-slip in the back. It just holds it out forward enough. So you can do the front if you want to. I mean, it's going to be off-centered. But that would work if you want to. So it doesn't go back in so far. I tend to use it in the jam chuck to sand. And then once you've sanded, which I'm not going to go through all the process of sanding, bit of sanding sealer, and give it a rub. Just let that all go in. Now, if you want to apply waxes to these, you can. So that's a bit of sanding sealer on there now. What I like to do is, find me,
Have an overhead, Mark.
yep, hold on. I'm rushing because I want to try and do another one.
You're doing fine
Oh.
on time.
Good. don't use your drill as your center. Messes up the end of the.
Mark,
Yep. Good.
message from my sponsor.
Right. I run these at about 1600. And you hold it down the bottom at about, if you're looking at it as a clock face, about 7 o'clock. And it's got the blue rouge on this one. And then on the other one, just rub in some carnauba.
Can we try the headstock on that one?
Right, Brian with a Y is asking, any tips for making the soft jaws yourself?
Yes, you can.
Depending on your
There's Ruby.
chuck, ask me to sell some jaws that you can screw a bit of plywood to. I've got 2 or 3 of those sets with different plywood jigs on them.
Yeah, all I did was buy some jaw carriers.
Yeah, you can do it with jaw carriers and just go straight to the jaw carrier. But that depends on your chuck. If you can mimic the back of the jaw, then you can put it on any chuck.
Steve Gordon has said he makes the jaws in MDF on his CNC.
You could 3D print your jaws as well.
Yeah, Ben does quite a lot of that.
There you go.
I don't know when Ruby came in. She might well be muted unless she's dropped back out again.
No, she dropped back out. Then we'll
All
let
right,
her back
okay.
in again.
There I
You
am.
back, Ruby?
There she
There
is.
you go.
Yeah,
Right.
for some reason my computer just suddenly turned off.
Very
Turn the
nice,
light on
Mark.
so we can see that one better. Right, so you can see that's got quite a nice shine. Quite a nice shine on it. That's just from carnauba wax applied by the mop. And then for the cord, I use, this is a bit of 1 mil, and I have bought some 3 mil. And I've looked at it today, and I think the 3 mil is too big.
Wee bit
So
thick.
before, it's a wee bit thick, yep. So I've just ordered some more 2 mil leather cord, and all you do, take the loop, pass the loop through from the front, so that the side with the design on. Couldn't do that again if I tried. For my next magic trick, seriously, I tell you, falling apart I am.
I think it's called a half hitch, Mike or Mark.
I don't know, I was never a Boy Scout.
I was.
So there you go. Now you pull it through from the front, because then that sits nicer. If you have it the other way, the loop is at the back, and it tends to make the pendant flop forward. So that would then sit nestled nicely, and I'm saying nothing else.
There you go. Brian Green's just come in.
Hello, Brian. So that's that one. And as you can see, it's got the rings on there. Now you could do whatever you like with these. You can stain them, you could paint them, you can varnish them, you can lacquer them.
You could
You could
texture
do.
them.
Well, that's got some texture in it. Yes. I'll tell you what. The next one we'll do a textured one with the Solby texturing. The next one I can get to fit properly into the jam chuck.
Julie says got a question. He says, how do you clean buffing mops?
I'll show you. It's very easy. So I'll put the center away. Here we go. You take a piece of wood, any piece of wood, and you run the corner of the wood through the mop. And that just takes off anything, any residue that's in there, gets rid of any loose fibers, and that's that cleaned, ready to go. Or do you mean properly clean as in shove it in a washing machine and clean them like that? If so, you'd have to look at the manufacturers and advice and see if what they say about washing them.
Woodturner with Barry's just come in.
There, guys. Right, so we'll do this one again, because the other one I made, that one, is a bit too small. That's 53.
I would like to suggest that if you are going to put them in the washing machine to clean them, and the manufacturer says, do make sure you do it when the wife's out.
Yes.
I highly advise that.
Now, Ruby, you were saying earlier about not having to use such a long piece of waste at the back. The reason I do, because that gives me access then to the back of the pendant, so I can just put a bit of a curve on it, take the rough edges off while it's still in the chuck.
Should be able to do that anyway, since you're using the O'Donnell jaws. That's the whole point in them.
That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
but with a shorter piece, you're that much closer in. Because these are only 54 mil, you can't get in behind very close. So I can actually back this out half an inch, and I've got a finger's width behind the piece of wood to the front of the jaws, which gives me a nice bit of access. Right. So, for those of you that came in late, do this again.
Ben's asking technical questions on washing machines. And the only thing I know about washing machines is you set the old one I had to number 4, and it did everything. The new one doesn't have number 4 on it, so therefore I can't use it.
See, now I can just come in the back. Mark it with a pencil. Gives me my center. Get my calipers. Get my jam chuck, take it out of the chuck. So if I was doing 20 of these, I'd do 20 to this stage. Just move this around. Raise it up. 'cause I'm
Gerard's
gonna use-
asking if you could do an earring set to match the pendants. Yeah, no problem whatsoever.
Yep.
You could make them bigger, you could make them smaller, you could make them the same size.
Yeah.
Very close.
And the way Mark's got this geared up with the dowel on the back and everything else, it's all about speed. So we can knock out a lot of them in a short time. But you can do them one at a time and you can make them any size you want.
That might just be enough.
He goes in for one more cut.
You could also make
It's tapered.
you could also make shorter versions of these and make earrings to match the pendant.
Good. That's true. Turn the lathe down to 500. Because what were we going to do with this one?
Texture.
Texturing. Where's my texture?
Rob from Klingspor said the best way to clean up a mop is to use a soft wire brush, brass wire.
What's that look like?
You don't have to do these out of side grain wood either. You can do them out of end grain, and you'd probably get a better texture on the end grain, especially if you want to use something like a chatter tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have. There it is. A brass bristle brush. Get rid of the fuzzies. And then that little piece that's just come off there, we'll probably do one more pendant.
Yeah.
Take them off with the bottom tool. So you get 2 per one. 2 for 1. So you get the bulk of it away with the bowl gouge. You could use a spindle gouge or a bowl gouge. And then use a skew as a negative rake scraper.
Brown green snuck in when I wasn't paying attention.
I think Wayne said him. I don't know if you can see the little nipple in the middle. Yes, I said nipple. If you come in with your skew just below it and lift, that gets rid of it. Once it's gone, then you can make your shape. Just get rid of it. And then just drag your skew across and put your dome on.
Now, you know, Mark, you could at this point also put a design on the backside so that if it does flip over, there's something else there.
I was talking to somebody about this. I think it was Emma. And she doesn't tend to put designs on the back because then it doesn't get confusing which is the back and the front when they go to put it on. So there's a definite back and front. So you know that the back is the back because it has no design on it. Kind of made sense.
When you change chucks and put the soft jaws chuck in, I'll give you another suggestion for designs.
Okay.
Yeah, do all your designs at that point.
So that's the one that's got the texturing on it.
Now, this is a clear example of why you need lots of chucks.
You see, if you use the
Absolutely.
off-center chuck, you don't need them all.
True.
But that's got the grain running vertical now.
Okay. See, what you could do now, if you hadn't put the texturing already on,
Yep.
you could actually put a design on that, seeing as how it's off-center.
Yes.
Stop the lathe, turn the pendant round a little bit, put another design on because it's still off-center in a different position.
Yep. So you get
So
like the
there's
half moon, the
Yeah,
crescent
you can
moon
get
kind of
lots
shapes.
and lots of different design things with these pendants. And if you wanted one with multiple holes in, you can even use this type of chuck setup to put multiple holes in, multiple hole sizes in as well.
Right.
Yeah,
Keep that near. Who was it who gave us the good tip about the drill bit?
Susie.
Susie. wasn't it?
Susie.
Right. carnauba stick.
Is that so you can sue her for liability when you bang your elbow into the drill in a minute?
Yep.
None of us have ever done that, Pete.
No, I don't know what he's talking about.
Right, so Susie's trick. Yeah,
What you don't drop that, Mark?
yeah, I'll try not to drop that. Look at that. Now that should be. Hey,
You're asking, are those homemade offset jewels? Yeah, they're made in the Axminster soft jewels in this particular case because that's what they're for. Make your own.
yeah. Nice one, Susie. Thank you. Brilliant.
Susie's asking how much are the soft jaws?
I think they're 30 something.
But you can make your own. The
You
thing
can
is,
make your
the
own,
reason
yeah.
the reason I said earlier on, I just put them on the jaw carriers. With the Axminster chucks, you can actually buy the jaw carriers separate.
So there you go. There's another one with texturing on it.
Nice one. Oh,
Yeah,
that's better.
if you added some color to that, then you could dry brush the top and bring out the pattern.
Yeah, you could. So there's all sorts. There's that one that I made earlier. There's that one. And then there's that one.
Ben suggested earlier you could put a flat marble or a bead or something in the middle as well if you wanted to.
That would look nice.
So you got those. I'll finish that one off later on. I might spray that one with some colour. So it's a nice little project.
I think I did one using the I'm forgetting how to pronounce it now. The carbuchon. Yeah, glass carbuchon with it, and
yeah.
I'd actually printed off a picture to glue onto the carbuchon to go into the centre. Carbachon. James, correcting my pronunciation there.
It's a good thing you have somebody to look after you, Wayne.
It is. In my dotage.
Question was,
Yeah.
1 inch thick, would that work for a kind of soft jewel? I would be a little bit dubious about using that because it's all glue up and you're not quite sure what's well attached anymore. But
Well,
it would.
that all depends. That all depends if he's talking about 1 inch thick. He is probably talking about a wooden one, but the plastic ones would work.
Plastic one would work, yeah.
Just see what that looks like.
Enchanted Wood Design said that he did flat wood on a worm screw and double-sided tape for the front.
Yep.
Then circle drilled for the back.
Yeah.
Lots of ways of achieving this.
There are. I mean, I've used it. I've used double-sided tape a lot. The only thing about turning it round and finishing off the back is that you have got the front dome. You don't have to have the back domed. You can leave the back flat
Flat.
if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just set it down on a sander.
Oh, Brian just says that's something we have in common, Wayne. I too have a wife who makes beaded jewellery.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, guys, I don't have a wife.
You
then
lucky thing, Ruby.
Yeah, this way I don't have anyone
Yeah.
complain about the dust.
Well, Lisa enjoys vacuuming, I'm sure.
Bring over here.
He's not allowed.
So you got that one,
There you go.
which sits there like that.
That would look much better if you turned round and used your builder's bum as the model.
Yes.
No,
Well,
Wayne,
just got
no.
Kim to pop
No,
down
no.
and model it for us.
Who's to say I didn't do that previously?
You did.
That might be my bum in the. Anyway, there you go.
I'm sure Kim said that earlier on.
I'm sure she
Yeah.
probably did. Thank you. Right. Bring these guys back in. So, and then you can
Oh,
get.
hang on. I'm
the
just
little-
going to scroll. I'm just going to scroll back. Oh, Roy's asking, how long do they normally take to make, Mark?
Right. If you're doing it for a demo, obviously I can do 3 in an hour, but that's rushing. If you're doing these to sell, take your time with them. Make them as perfect as you possibly can. Probably, say, half hour each. 2 in an hour if you're doing them for sale.
Yeah, but
Where
once
you
you
wanna
speed up a bit and get in production mode.
Yeah, then you're probably getting them down to 3 an hour. I wouldn't have thought more than maybe 4 an hour, 15 minutes each. If you're doing them in the stages that I would do. So I would spend one whole day cutting up the blanks, gluing on the little backs, and turning them just around. Then I'd spend the next day going through, getting all round to fit the jam chuck and right size, and then I would take that jam chuck off, take the O'Donnells off, put the jam chuck on, turn the backs off, shape the back, sand, turn it round, put the front in, sand, put any designs on that I wanted to, and then sand. And then take that chuck off, put the final chuck on, which is the eccentric chuck, the off-center chuck, drill the hole, shape that cut in with a spindle gouge, turn it round, do the back, and then finish. So you'd finish all 20 when you've done all those other stages. If that makes sense. It's difficult to explain.
Of course,
Roy,
we're going to
Mark,
colour them
Mark,
and
Mark
get
used.
finished.
Just answer, Roy. Mark used hot melt glue.
Yeah, just standard Loctite glue gun sticks. You get those from Screwfix. And the glue gun that I use is the Bosch PKP 180. Let it get hot enough. Don't do it as soon as the glue starts to melt. Give it 5 or 6 minutes. Let that glue get properly hot, and then they won't come off. You'll be amazed how much hot glue holds. And you can just show you how cold it is in here. My carnauba wax fell off the lathe, landed on the floor, and shattered. Brilliant.
You didn't have enough
Yeah,
shade.
I've had to turn my heating down because it's getting a bit warm in here.
That's why
Really?
you leave a layer of shavings on the floor.
Well, normally I do, see, but I took so much grief about my workshop being dirty. Over it up. See?
Peer group pressure, you see.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Right. Thank you ever so much, everybody, for coming along. Hope that was informative. Shows you one way of doing it.
Well,
Like I say,
thank
you
you,
can do
Lucy.
them. You can do them
And
all
thank
at
Gideon
once
as
in
well.
one go, and you can do them in batches, in stages. You could use a multitude of different jaws. So something to think about, something to play with.
Well,
Thank you ever so much, everybody, for coming along.
it's a good way for people to practice different texturing techniques as well, if they're
Yeah.
just getting into
Yeah.
texturing.
Yes, it is. Thank you guys for earworming for me.
No problem.
welcome.
No problem. Anytime.
You're more than welcome, Mark.
Are you
don't-
back tomorrow night, Wayne?
I am. Quite a few times now. I've showed off that ash bowl that I turned once, and then it warped to hell.
Yes.
So I'm going to finish that tomorrow night. There won't be a lot of turning because I'm only turning the inside of it, but I'm going to get that finished off tomorrow night.
Okay, are you
So
adding
that could
color?
be- Oh no, not to this piece, Ruby. No, not to this piece. The grain is absolutely gorgeous in it, but it's warped that much that I'm only going to turn the inside. I'm going to sand and finish the outside, and probably do a bit of carving with the Dremel. But this is all over the place. This piece is.
Look forward to
Okay.
seeing it then.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Pete, by the way. Right, that's it. I'm going to press the button. End the broadcast. See you
Night, night,
next
everybody.
week, hopefully.
See you,
Cheers,
everyone.
everyone. Take care.
Take care.